that women are having, Black women in particular, when it becomes to becoming a wife?
Keeping it 100,
Yes.
there's not enough eligible Black males who fit the needs of Black women. By the time you dissect the demographics of finances, sexual orientation, what you end up drilling down into, because Black women tend to want to marry Black men.
Right, right.
So Black women are excelling. They're getting accelerated degrees, graduate degrees, doctorate degrees. They're starting businesses. Black women are running circles around men.
Right.
And it's also shown in research that women want to marry on their same level of financial and educational status.
Yeah.
So if you're a Black woman making $150,000 a year with a master's degree, you tend to want to marry a Black man on that same level or higher. If Black women are excelling at such an accelerated rate, how do men keep up with that?
So one thing I want to point out, what you described, Casey, was the ideal situation, right? Where two people come together to lift each other up, to complement each other. You know, you might have somebody making six figures who have property and all of that, but then the other person might not come with that. The issue, from my stance, what I'm seeing is, and the key word, there are not a lot of eligible men. There are not a lot of men with that mindset who can even align with that concept nowadays. So regardless of degree, you know what I mean? I know that came up in the ladies segment or whatnot, but even if, let's just say you have somebody who went to trade school, like somebody used as an example earlier, if that man, from my observation, if that man is considered eligible because he's meeting all of this criteria, he oftentimes has a lot of options. And we're living in times now where I'm finding that these men don't respect the idea of marriage. I meet a lot of good men. There are a lot of great men that I come across, but the question is, are they eligible or not? Oftentimes the men who are doing their thing, you know what I mean, who would become a good husband, those men oftentimes are bouncing around from woman to woman to woman, and it's not because they haven't met good women. I can think of a few men who have gone through a lot of good women, you know what I mean? But I understand that is also about perspective, because everybody is looking for something different. But in general,
right, that's exactly what I was about to tell you, Brittany.
No, the issue is, ladies, you guys only consider a man eligible because he makes a certain amount of money that you want him to spend on you. So y'all started this whole thing of six figures. So any men who don't make six figures, they're not good men or marriage material. And then you mentioned all the degrees that you got, all the money in the beginning of the clip. She was talking about, oh, they're making 150,000, blah, blah, blah. But that doesn't matter because you're not planning to spend the money on the man. So you mentioning that the degrees that you got, the money that you make, that you're not even willing to spend on the man, and it's not like the men are looking for you to spend the money on them. So what are you talking about? Why do you guys keep talking about the degrees and the money that you make? Men don't care about that. Now, if you said, I'm willing to spend my money on the man, I'm willing to go 50-50, okay, then you mentioning the money would make sense. But when you stop using money as the main and the most important thing to determine if a man is marriage material or not, then we'll get somewhere.
We can't make anybody love us or pick us or choose us, right? When it comes to a man's criteria and picking a woman for a long-term relationship or to be a wife, that is something that he has come to terms with and something that he is looking for. It's nothing that a woman can do outside of who she actually is, right? She must be competitive. That's number one. A lot of Black women do not want to be competitive, right? The first thing a woman will say is, I'm not about to chase him. I'm not about to do all of that. He got other hoes. I'm not about to go all of that. I'm not about to do that. That's a problem, right? It's a problem because we'll be competitive with everything else in our life. We'll be competitive with getting that promotion. We'll be competitive with in school. We'll be competitive in every other lane, whether it's sports. We'll be competitive when it comes to laying our stake in the ground and saying, I'm here, this is mine. But that same spirit has to come into place. If you are saying this man is eligible, he's good look, I'm attracted to him, he's a good guy, but he has a lot of women after him. He's gonna have a lot of women after him if he's all of those things. What sets you apart? He may not express the things in his heart that he's always wanted as a wife, right? Y'all were talking about Love is Blind the other day. I watched it. That was last night, right, guys? Last night when y'all talking about Love is Blind, and Miss Taken was talking about there's certain things a man is looking for when he's thinking about a wife. He's not about to take the time to teach women certain things that he feel like doesn't need to be explained. So these women, to you, Brittany, may seem like good women because what we see from our friends is not what the man that is dating them sees.
Facts.
It's not the same thing, right?
She's cooking.
So I could have a great friend, but I don't know. I don't live with my best friends. I don't live with none of my homegirls. I don't know if they only clean up for me to come over or for us to have girls' night. I don't know if she cooks all the time for the guys that she's dated. I don't know if she gets up and goes after, you know, things and is very Lord, I can't think. Communicating to that man, communicative about life and family and spirituality and sexuality. We don't know those things as women. So it's kind of a hard situation that we have to accept. If you're in the dating market, number one, you got to be competitive.
Facts. And black women don't want to compete for black men. They just want you to accept them the way they are. They expect you to work hard, be in shape, be nice to them, prove to them. They actually say, prove to them that you can be on my level. They tell you you're not on my level. Do ABCD to prove to me that you are worth my time. But the moment the man says, what are you going to do for me? Prove to me. They say, I'm the table. I'm the prize. I don't got to do nothing. I'm just going to come the way I am and you got to accept it. And men are saying, no. If you want me to make this amount of money, to be the protector, to be the provider, be in shape, be romantic, do ABCD, what do I get in return? And then crickets. She is cooking. This is unbelievable. Like, it's very rare to hear a black woman actually try to explain the real reason black men are not marrying black women. Man, shout out to her. She is cooking. It's like, what are men getting in return? You want marriage-minded men who will make all this kind of money to spend on you. What do they get in return?
Number two, you have to be open to really meeting a man and understanding who he is and
Facts.
what makes y'all, I'm sorry, my daughter just woke up. What makes you set apart from other women?
Yep.
And also, are you willing to work with that man? A lot of us we're not bendable. We're not moldable. We're not bendable. We don't acquiesce to men. We don't even acquiesce to our friends and family.
They just want to be accepted the way they are. I'm a prize. I'm the princess. I'm a queen. Look what you're missing out on. She talks back at you. Her attitude in the public. Like she can't be nice to you. There are men who have been in relationships, but they've never heard their woman use a soft, soothing voice.